morning, everyone. I understand that the state law currently requires that the following announcement be made at the beginning of every remote public hearing as follows. Due to the current public health emergency, City Council committees are currently meeting remotely. We are using Microsoft Teams to make these remote hearings possible. Instructions for how the public may view and offer public testimony at public hearings of council committees are included in the public hearing notices that are published in the Daily News, Enquirer, and Legal Intelligencer prior to the hearings, and can also be found on phlcouncil.com. Will the clerk please call the roll to take attendance? Members that are in attendance will please indicate that they are present when their names are called. Also, please say a few brief words when responding so that your image will be displayed on the screen when you speak.
Cindy Bass.
Good morning, I am present. Good morning, Mr. Chairman.
Good morning.
Catherine Gilmore Richardson.
Good morning, Mr. Chair. Good morning, colleagues.
Good morning.
Bobby Heaton.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, and good morning to all my colleagues.
Good morning.
And Brian O'Neill.
Good morning, everyone.
Good morning. Thank you, Brett. A quorum of the committee is present, and this hearing is now called to order. This is the public hearing of the Committee on Rules regarding Bill number 200416. Before we begin, I wanted to announce that Bill number 200517 will be held until the next rules hearings on December the 1st. Please let the record reflect that the bill number 200517 is being held at the request of the sponsor and will be heard at a later date. Will the clerk please read the titles of the bill?
Bill number 200416, to amend the Philadelphia zoning maps by changing the zoning designation of certain areas of land located within an area bounded by Buckius Street, the Delaware River, Orthodox Street, and Richmond Street.
And before we begin, I would like to acknowledge the presence of Councilman David O.
Thank you, Chairman.
You're welcome. Before we begin to hear testimony from the witnesses we have for today, everyone who has been invited to the meeting to testify should be aware that this public hearing is being recorded. Because the hearing is public, participants and viewers have no reasonable expectation of privacy. By continuing to be in the meeting, you are consenting to being recorded. Additionally, prior to recognizing members for the questions or comments they have or witnesses, I will note for the record at this time that we will use the chat feature available on Microsoft Teams to allow members to signify that they wish to be recognized. In order to comply with the Sunshine Act, the chat feature must only be used for this purpose. Will the clerk please call the first panel for bill number 200416?
Paula Brumblow Burns.
Good morning, members of the Rules Committee. I am Paula Brumblow Burns, City Planner with the Philadelphia City Planning Commission. I'm here to testify on bill number 200416, which was introduced into City Council on September 10th, 2020 by Councilmember Heenan. Bill number 200416 amends the Philadelphia zoning maps by changing the zoning designations of a portion of land located within the area bounded by Buckius Street, Extended, the Delaware River, Orthodox Street, Extended, and Richmond Street. The proposed bill will change the zoning designation for a portion of land from RMX2 residential mixed use to SPPOA Parks and Open Space Active. The Department of Parks and Recreation requested the new designation to accommodate the new Riverfront North Park. The rezoning will conform to the recommendations in the city's comprehensive plan. The zoning will facilitate a new $9 million park on 10 acres of vacant land and connect residents of Bridesburg to the Delaware Riverfront for the first time. The proposed amendment that is in front of the committee today now addresses the entire area formerly known as the Philly Coke site. After this bill was introduced, a request came in to remove the remaining RMX2 zoning on the property. The special purpose park and open space active for parkland will be extended to run along the entire waterfront, ICMX industrial commercial mixed use on the land will extend up to the residential neighborhood. And I-2 medium industrial will be mapped to a larger portion of land that can accommodate a warehouse proposal. The Philadelphia City Planning Commission considered Bill number 200416, along with potential amendments at its meeting of October 20th, 2020, where the commission voted for approval. I will be happy to answer any questions at this time.
Councilman, I'm going to acknowledge Councilman Heenan. Would you like to make any comments on your bill?
Thank you, Mr. Chair. This is Councilman Heenan. The only comment that I would have on the bill is thanking the Planning Commission and Parks and Rec, ensuring that this restricted park portion of this remapping is going to be for continuity of what the neighborhood has wanted for decades. So now it's going to be restricted to parkland only, 10 acres, and the collaborative effort in raising an incredible amount of resource to ensure that park becomes a reality. And, I want to thank Bridesburg as well for their persistence throughout this entire process, because they're going to get a park. They're going to get a waterfront park, and I'm glad to be a part of it. So thank you.
Are there any questions or comments from any other members of the committee? Is there anyone else here to testify on the bill whose name has not yet been called? Thank you very much, Paula. This concludes the hearing, and we will now go into the public meeting. Are there any other questions from the members of the committee? Being none, I will ask that if there's no one else present in the hearing whose name we have failed to call and that wishes to offer testimony on the bill at this time being considered today. Hearing none, I want to thank all the panelists and witnesses for their participation today. We value your input. I now invite all panelists and witnesses to please disconnect from the meeting before we go into our public meeting. We will now pause the proceedings briefly as multiple participants leave the hearing. Concludes the public hearing of the committee. We will now go into a public meeting to consider the action to be taken on bills before this committee. Will the clerk please call the roll to take attendance? Members that are in attendance will please indicate that they are present when their names are called. Also, please say a brief few words, responding so that your image will be displayed on the screen when you speak.
Mark Squilla.
Present.
David O.
Good morning, President.
Cindy Bass.
Good morning, I am present.
Catherine Gilmore Richardson.
Good morning, Mr. Chair and colleagues. I'm present.
Bobby Heenan.
Bobby Heenan is present.
And Brian O'Neill.
Present.
Thank you. We will now go into our public meeting. The chair recognizes Councilman Mark Squilla for a motion to amend Bill number 200416.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I offer an amendment to Bill number 200416. A copy of the amendment has been circulated to all members of the committee. I move that the amendment to Bill number 200416 be approved.
Second.
The chair notes for the record that Councilman David O. seconds the motion. It has been moved and properly seconded that amendment to Bill number 200416 be approved. All those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye. Aye.
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? The ayes have it. The motion carries, and the amendment to Bill number 200416 have been approved. The chair recognizes Councilman Mark Squilla for a motion on Bill number 200416 as amended.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move the Bill number 200416 as amended be reported from this committee with a favorable recommendation, and further move the rules of council be suspended and submit first reading of this bill at the next session of council.
Second.
The chair notes for the record that Councilman O'Neill seconds the motion. It has been moved and properly seconded that bill number 200416 as amended be reported from this committee with a favorable recommendation and further move that the rules of council be suspended to permit first reading of this bill at the next session of council. All those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the motion carries. The chair recognizes Councilman Mark Squilla for a motion on bill number 2. Oh, I'm sorry. The chair recognizes Councilman Mark Squilla for a motion on bill number 200517.
Thank you, Mr. Chair. I move that the public hearing and the public meeting on bill number 200517 stand in recess until Tuesday, December 1st, 2020 at 9:30 a.m.
Second.
It has been moved and properly seconded that the public hearing and public meeting of this committee on bill number 200517 be recessed until Tuesday, December 1st at 9:30 a.m. All those in favor of the motion will signify by saying aye.
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 Those opposed, the ayes have it, and the motion carries. And the public hearing and public meeting on bill number 200517 will stand in recess until Tuesday, December the 1st at 9:30 a.m., in which we will reconvene on Microsoft Teams. For the record, I want to also acknowledge that bill number 200517 has been seconded by Councilman David. This concludes the meeting. If there are no additional remarks, our business is finished for today. Thank you, everybody, for your time. Thank you for being on time, and I will talk to you later on. Take care.
All right. Have a nice day, everybody.
You
Thank
too.
you, Mr. Chairman.